Wait. All right. Hello, everyone. We're live. I'm just going to be testing some face tracking, some body tracking, and we're going to see how it goes. All right. So my tongue is sticking out a lot while I'm talking for some reason. The fun part is like trying to calibrate everything. Okay. Ba 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 ba. Ah. Test 1, 2, 3. Okay, the face animation seems to be kind of in line with my voice. But I don't know. Okay, so I gotta go into Babbel and I gotta tweak some settings, make the tongue a little less. Okay, so hopefully the tongue's a little less uh happy to just go out of my face. So yeah, we're gonna be doing some tracking. We got all sorts of tracking. So got we got our legs and everything. We got our face. We got all that tracking. And oh, I put that through the wall. Okay, where's my chair? Chair. Sit down here. Oh, and also we got that tracking too. We got all the tracking. Every joint has tracking. So that's kind of fun, not gonna lie. Let's shoot a flying camera so I don't have to wait. I should like find actual like chair in the world actually. So let's grab this. Oh, camera mode, anchor, default. Okay, we're gonna find the chairs have collision, of course. Um, trying to find a good spot. Ooh, They added flowers. That's pretty. That's cool. Yeah, let's put the camera maybe. Uh, I don't know, position this in my room. Okay, so I should be able to walk further away. And I'm just gonna turn this on real quick. Speech chat. But of course it's disconnected. Okay, cool. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about all the tracking that I'm wearing. All of the tracking that I have on my body at the moment is all open source, and it's pretty cool. We got Project Babel for my mouth. I'm using iTrack VR to track my eyes with my Quest 3. And then for my body tracking, I'm using slime trackers on my shoulders, my elbows, my chest, my hips, my knees, my ankles, my feet, and I'm using butterfly trackers for my toes. And this is just all open source technology that the community's been working on. Just a lot of innovation that's been going on that it's just been so cool. I've wanted to do motion capture for ever. Ever since a decade ago. I've wanted to be able to do motion capture and animation. And the fact that it's just so readily accessible nowadays in open source is just wild. It only costs to build my own trackers, it only costs 15 to $20 in parts Canadian. And that's maybe about maybe 10 to 12 bucks American just to buy the parts to build one tracker. So you can literally build 6 trackers for 60, 70 bucks American. It's wild. Now, of course, if you're buying them pre-made, they're about they're more expensive when you buy them from, say, Slime VR or whatever, but they're still very cheap in comparison to Vive trackers or industry standard full body tracking, which is OptiTrack and Rococo. It's just been so cool to see how much how cheap mocap has gotten just thanks to the open source community. And it's been really awesome to work with them. Slime VR, I've been working with them for since I guess basically since October to just keep working on really cool features like toe tracking. Yes, if you've seen toe tracking, it's my fault. I I started working on it because I wanted more accurate tracking. I wanted every part of my body to be accurate. And then yeah, that happened. It's funny. So yeah, I'm just gonna do something really quick. I am curious to see if I can get my voice to line up with the face a bit more uh, when I'm talking. Um, so one thing I've noticed is there's like a slight delay between my mouth actually starting to move and my actual like voice. So I'm trying to like line up the microphone delay so that matches up with the latency that the cameras have, so that it all lines up better. So I'm just gonna like say some testing stuff again. Hello, how are you? Baba Boo Boo. Okay, it seems a little better. However, I'm finding I might actually have to be a bit more exaggerated with the way I move my mouth, because the face tracking is not always um moving. Like if I move my mouth with smaller motions, the face doesn't really want to move. But if I talk bigger, I think it's going to affect the way I'm talking too. But if I talk moving my mouth more, then that means that um, the mouth seems to be moving more. So, yeah, it's going to be some adjustment here. Also, my left eye is doing some weird things. I don't know why. I did like recalibrate. I recalibrated my eyes right before starting the stream, and that improved things a little bit. But I'm finding with eye track VR, I have to like, yeah, it's doing. It's my left eye. It's weird. Uh, yeah, my left eye is like doing a weird thing, and I'm not sure why. Oh yeah, I can also stick out my tongue, which is kind of funny or fun, or you can like, I can puff out my cheeks. Although that's weird. Let me check my camera feed. For some reason, it's only like when I puff out my cheeks, only one's doing it. That's another thing I gotta tune. So let's see, if I go to mouth expressions and I cheek expressions. Okay, so I am having to tweak some settings here and there, just make things a bit more even. Alright, so yeah, it seems to be working a little better. Um, I'm just kind of like, as I'm talking, I'm just kind of noticing things that the face is doing that might not be lining up with what my real face is doing. And I'm just like tweaking some dials here and there. So yeah. Um, hmm. Okay, so now it's smiling. All right, so yeah, it's been interesting. So let's talk about like where we're at. So we got like these dandelions here, or no, there's sunflowers, not dandelions. Um, but yeah, this world's pretty cool. They call it like Frutiger Arrow, which apparently is what they call the aesthetic of like the 2000, around like the 2000s, kind of like, around the Vista and like Windows 7 era. And I guess the XP, I guess just literally just the 2000s era of computing, just this general aesthetic where this is kind of like how we imagined, you know, computing and everything would look. And this world is just pretty cool. I love the aesthetic. I've been going back and just like replaying like I finally picked up like an Xbox emulator and I've been like going back and like replaying like old Xbox games, and then also I got my hands on Xbox 360 so I can like start playing games to that. I kind of want to get a CRT TV again as well. Um just so I can like start playing old games the way they were originally built to be played, just to get that nostalgic feeling back. God. If we like go over here, we got this like vending machine types thing. So I think this is like pretty cool. You get to see like these different icons like Skype, Movie Maker, MSN Messenger. I remember I remember using that so much, and I also remember the exact moment when it died. which was like the moment Facebook came out and they came out with like Facebook Messenger. Um, Everyone was like, "Well, why would I use MSN Messenger? I'm already on Facebook, and Facebook has Messenger, so I'm just gonna use that." And then people stopped using MSN Messenger. But then somehow Skype managed to overtake MSN Messenger. Then Microsoft bought Skype, and then now Microsoft killed Skype, and then now I guess it's Microsoft Teams, which is like not really a social application. It's more of just used as a work application for companies. So it's interesting how like Microsoft's whole chat thing just ended up going corporate, or ended up just being for corporate use for the most part. And then yeah, what killed Skype, it was Discord. I remember when Discord came out in 2015. Like I was using Skype like all day, every day in these like group Skype chats, and then Discord came out in like 2015, and then everyone just kind of started switching over to that, and that's what killed Skype. It's interesting just to see how like technology just can shift from like one dominant chat platform to the next one just so quickly. The moment that everyone else is just on it, and that chat platform is like better. Hello, how you doing? I'm just talking about face tracking, body tracking, and it's a little bit of nostalgia. But yeah, interesting just to see like how much has changed software wise. And I also remember back in the day when like you'd go to like the Mac lab, and like we would just like edit stuff in like GarageBand, and like I think it was like iPhoto. People just take pictures in iPhoto and like just put on all the silly filters. God, it was an interesting time back then. It was also like one of the first times I came across Photoshop. My day's been pretty good. I ended up soldering together a set of 4 trackers earlier in the morning. Gonna be sending those out to a friend, and then kind of stopped for a bit, and I got back up. Um, Started getting ready, putting on all my motion capture stuff for this stream, and now we're just talking about stuff. Yeah, I got like trackers just covering my basically on every joint to my body has like a motion tracker. Like I can like lift up my legs. I can do that. There's trackers everywhere. I guess including on my face. I got 3 cameras just staring at my face. Yeah, I've got tracking everywhere. I want to have the most accurate face and body tracking that there is, and like that's something that I want to push for it no matter what it takes. I might not even have enough trackers. I got like 16 body trackers on at the moment, and I could wear up to like 26 if I really wanted to. Yeah, I think at the moment I own about 34 uh body trackers. Um, I think at this point, like I think 12 of them I made myself. Uh, Another 10 of them got was sent to me by Somatic VR. Uh, then there was another Slime VR sent me 12 trackers. Uh, Six of them were butterfly trackers, which is their new trackers that they're going to be selling. And then they sent me like six of their previous uh, generation trackers. I've got way too many trackers, so I gotta find more spots in my body I can put them all. Way too many trackers. Uh, let's see. I had to find a chair. Oh, there's no good seats here. Why can't you focus? Oh, I just realized I got like like a bunch of CDs. God, you know what's wild? The new generation doesn't know what CDs are. But yeah, I really love the aesthetic of this world. I gotta see if there's like a collider toggle in this world. One moment, I gotta check something real quick. Ba, 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 ba. Hmm. You're scared? Yeah, don't be scared. Be happy. Hold on. Let's see something here. Mm. Check out the outfits in this avatar. Yeah, it's been really fun just playing around with motion capture though. Okay, I'm trying to smile, it's only doing like half the face. That's so strange. God, I swear I calibrated that. My tongue's back to like sticking out when I'm not actually sticking out my tongue. That's me actually sticking my tongue out. I can actually like move my tongue left and right, and like in the avatar will do it too. Okay, mouth expressions. Hmm. Okay, this tracking camera's just really confused for some reason. Hold on, I gotta get myself a cloth. Let's see. Not really. Alright. I have attempted to clean the camera a bit. Hopefully. Hmm. Okay, I see what's happening. I think, anyway. Okay, so what appears to be happening is my lights are creating uneven lighting on my face. So I just had to like move to another part of the room and hopefully that helps a little bit. But yeah. All right. So let's explore a little bit more. Er, Yeah, I'm testing. I'm testing my face and eye tracking. Oh, this is a cool scene. All right. So if I grab the camera and we like fly it out. Oh, oh, stick drift. I can like eh, grab the camera. Yeah, I can like sit down here and I can like move my legs and everything. It's pretty cool. Oh, God, I'm trying to move the camera and it's like trying to stick drift on me. Um, but yeah, move that up here. But yeah, we got this like full blown tracking that just seems to work. Let's see. Okay, so it's like got my elbows on my knees. It's almost accurate. It's just barely not. If I'm like, interesting. Yeah, so I feel like I could make this a bit more accurate because I have my elbows are on my knees at the moment, but they aren't quite touching in the virtual space. But yeah, this is like the most fluid motion capture that I've I've used so far, and it's just like fully open source. Can I cross my legs? Yeah, I can cross my legs. That's cool. Oh, my hand stopped tracking. Stretch. Without trackers, I got lots of trackers. I got trackers for days. I got all the tracking. I got I got face, eye, body tracking, tracking just everywhere. But yeah, I think the future business model for like slime tracking is going to be adding more joint assignments. So I think like I've got 16 trackers on right now. The maximum is like 26. I gotta raise like the maximum assignable trackers to like maybe like 30 or 40 by the end of like 2027. So that would be funny. What's spout stream? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, full body tracking is I love it. I I think there's some things to be desired with the face tracking, but, like, compared to, like, having no face tracking, this is, like, pretty cool. Um, it's like there's never enough tracking. I still need to add, breathing animations to this avatar. Um, if I switch to the other avatar I was wearing, let's see. Ah, shit, the camera's moving. Uh, anchor, default. Um, right. This is the other avatar that I was wearing for a bit, and I'm trying to remember. God, I lost my train of thought. Uh, there is something specific about this avatar I wanted to show. Right, breathing. Right, breathing. So if you like ever so subtly, this avatar has breathing animation. Let's see if I'm gonna have to get closer for people to maybe notice. I'll try to be really still. But yeah, like this avatar is like a really subtle breathing animation. And I kind of feel like the more like micro animations I can like add to the avatar, the more lifelike it'll start to feel. And I switched over to the other avatar more recently, just because I feel like it's got a better aesthetic. But I forgot to add breathing animations to it. Yeah, like I just want to like add like a bunch of like tiny details to the animation that just like subconsciously like the brain doesn't like notice, or I don't know how to describe it. Like there's like elements of like the human expression where it's like you don't notice when they're there, but when they're not there, it becomes really noticeable. And so my thought is like I just want to add all these like micro things that maybe people don't notice straight away, but like it, subconsciously it like makes it more lifelike. So I've just been like adding more trackers, more passive animations, all that fun stuff. Also, I like how there's just these like MSN butterflies flying around, but just like zoom out there. All right. What am I trying to do here? I need to flip the camera, and I can't find the option to flip it. It's mirroring, anchor. No. I said no. Okay, I'm just gonna let's do this. Cool. But yeah. Oh, I don't know what my next project's gonna be though. I spent most of February was spent making it so my full body tracking could work with flat screen games. So like I could play like Halo with just like full body motion tracking. So like when I punch, that'll like make me melee in the game. I put my arm back like I'm shooting my gun, and like that shoots my gun. And then but yeah, so like I put my arm back, that shoots my weapon. If I like lift up my feet, that makes me like jump in the game. Um, and then I started doing something else, which was I'm like, you know what? I've basically turned my full body tracking into a game controller. Oh god, that would be hard. I heard someone returned Resident Evil 9 because it was no, they gave it a bad review because it was quote too scary. Chef, the food tasted too good. I'm filing a complaint. But yeah, I ended up making it so that those trackers work with my Xbox 360, which was nuts. I just got my full body tracking hooked up to my Xbox 360, and the Xbox 360 just thinks I'm using an Xbox controller, but it's really just like a bunch of like slime body, full body trackers funneling in button press data. And so I can like play Halo Combat Evolved on the 360 that way, and hypothetically any other Xbox 360 game. And also, the dongle supposedly works with PS3, PS4, Nintendo Switch. So basically, making Connect, but it works with games people actually want to play. It works best with first person games, though. I think the next move is I'm working on my own VR controllers. I've been kind of working on that over the past few months as well. Um, what I really want to be able to do is like one problem we have is like if my hand tracking actually kicks in. So we got like this Quest hand tracking. It's like I can like bend my fingers and everything. I can like do all the gestures. But if I like move my arms like that, the tracking cuts out. And so I'm kind of working on making it so that I can like have more trackers attached to my body where like I have a lower arm and hand tracker. And when I put my arms behind my body, it'll switch from like the Quest hand tracking to the slime tracking. So I'll have like full 360 arm rotation. And I'm hoping that'll kind of like just make tracking a little bit better. But then also, um, I want to add like some actual like buttons and stuff. You know what? I thought about it. Like, there could, there could be like things like skirt tracking. Um, yeah, if there's a way to like make a tracker on something, why not? Why not? Why not put tracking on like literally everything? I'm definitely not opposed. Yeah. Um, one thing I need to like invest in is like people like Code Miko, for example. I think they have like their model has been built in such a way that it's like 1-to-1 with their body. And like I have yet to like get an avatar that's like 1-to-1 with my body. It's like if I like try to like oh wow, yeah, my knee like my avatar is basically approximating what I'm actually doing in real life. Like if I like my knee's right here, and in the virtual world my knee's like where is that? Yeah, the knee lengths don't quite match up, and that's like not a fault of the tracking really. That's just this model is not my exact body shape, so it's like it doesn't perfectly fit. So like now I'm resting my arms on my knees, and it's like it's roughly there, but this model is not exact to my body shape, so it's like but once I sort that out, then you can start doing things like clothing physics because once like because then the clothing's crashing against your body, right? And if your in-game model and the real world model are shaped basically exactly the same, the physics will all line up properly too. But if the virtual space and the real space don't fully line up in size and shape, that clothing tracking is gonna kind of clip, which is kind of why like a lot of like things I'm just doing a lot of like physics based stuff. Yeah, that's something I want to explore at some point. It would be cool to experiment with that at some point. God, I love those MSN butterflies. And then CD. Oh wait, no, CD. Good. I remember walking to school, and like I had this portable CD player. You put like a battery in it, and you put the CD in, and it would play. And it was always funny. Like sometimes like ride a bike to school, and like you hit like a really good bump, and the music would just like stop and skip, and then it would start back up again. It was funny. Uh, and then eventually, like you got like the before like the I guess it should be after I don't know when exactly when the iPod came out, but like I remember there was like a time you'd like buy these MP3 players, and that's all they would do was play songs, and you like plug it into your computer, like a USB stick. You would put in the MP3 files, and like it had like this little interface that like you'd have to like you know push the buttons to like skip songs and everything, and it had like this one color LCD screen where it was like kind of what was like it's like a kind of grayish green and black screen. Like it would have like your play, your pause, your volume buttons, and all that stuff. Part for headphones back when like you could actually plug wired headphones into a device. I guess you still can, but like all the flagship phones have decided that the headphone jack is no longer needed, which personally I haven't missed it, but like if I had some really like good audiophile headphones, I'd probably want a headphone jack. But yeah, it's been interesting because now I just buy one device, and that one device has it's a music player, it's a video player, does phone calls. Cell phones just do everything now. I've been like looking back a lot at like just old technology. And anytime I call it old, I feel old because it's like this is stuff that I grew up with. But like, God, like even like yeah, like iPod. Yeah, like iPod. I guess. Oh yeah, BitTorrent, LimeWire. Uh oh, who? God, I remember a website called ISO Hunt back in the day. That was like the site where everyone went before the Pirate Bay, and I guess there was also LimeWire. I remember my parents were pirates. They would download movies, and it would take like an hour. Oh yeah, MySpace. Yeah, I barely got to use it, but definitely knew about it. I think I made a MySpace, but like I didn't get to get that much mileage out of it because things move so quickly. But yeah, God, I remember my parents. They would download movies. We had a modded original Xbox, and we had like this binder filled with like games that were like downloaded and burnt to like DVDs, and you put them in the Xbox. The Xbox had a mod chip, so like it would just play them, and like that's how I played a lot of games as a kid. Uh, yeah, my parents are just pirates, but and I don't condone piracy. I don't condone piracy for legal purposes. I do not condone piracy. My parents definitely did pirate a lot of stuff. Um, but yeah, I remember they would like go to download a movie and it would take like you'd have to commit for like a week downloading that movie because the download speeds are so slow back then. And we had a computer specifically for doing it. Okay, actually, I want to revisit. Uh, I want to revisit uh, one of the worlds I made. I'm just gonna fly the camera up real quick. We're gonna go on an adventure. Let's switch to another world, right? Worlds. Okay, so this place is basically where I grew up when I was younger. Okay, is this mirrored? Let's unmirror that. Okay, yeah. So we got this place that's based off of where I grew up when I was younger. So we have like, yeah, this is like my dad's computer. He would like work and watch movies. Yep, I put this world together. It's based off of my childhood home. I think this might be like the second place I lived. Like this is the place where I had the most memories when I was a kid. Um, from like the age of like 4 to 9 years old. This is where I lived. Um, so if I like, one moment, if we go to the basement, this was the computer we used to download movies. You just had a computer right here. Yeah. And unfortunately, the YouTube player I think is broken. So usually, but yeah, then we also got like this one speaker system over here. I still have that one. This this one we used to also have. You could like put like 5 CDs in it, and like it had a turntable for like switching music CDs, so you didn't have to like pull out a CD and put a new one in. You could like put in 5 of your favorite CDs, and it would just like auto switch between them. But yeah, this one I actually still own that. Um, I ended up taking pictures of it, and I slapped it onto like a 3D box. And also back when like I don't know, maybe couches still do this, but like just like we had a couch that had like a pull-out futon, so if people were visiting over or like want to be really comfy watching a movie, could do that. And if we go upstairs, let's switch to the camera view. But yeah, so if we go upstairs, this is like this is basically my room. Let's see, I'm gonna anchor that to maybe the world. Yeah. All right. So yeah. So we had like the bed. Um, at some point, my dad gave me their work laptop, and so like I would like play games like Lego Island and GI Joe, not GI Joe, Tonka Search and Rescue, and what else was there at the time? So Lego Island, Tonka Search and Rescue, um, Monster Truck. What was it? Monster Truck Madness. And that was like the first one. I think it was made for like Windows 95, Windows 98. I remember I would play that. Uh, God, computing used to be so magical. Um, right? Okay, so then this room, I had like two other siblings, and so this was their room. They shared this room. I got to have my own room. uh, so there was a bunk bed. This room's not exact how things were. Fully remember. I don't fully remember everything. If I remember, I actually used to sleep in this room too at one point. Um, so I think how it worked was like, right. So this used to be my room at one point, and then another sibling, they'd sleep at the bottom bunk. But then when my third sibling was born, they had that room for a bit. But eventually, when they got bigger, that room became my room. And then my two other siblings started sharing this room. God, it's interesting to think about just how much even just the same house changes layout wise as time goes on. And then this was like the parents' bedroom. So that like they had like a CRT and then like, the bed. And then if I switch to camera view. And then there's this closet. And they had this futon that was just tucked away in there. I remember crawling into it like a tunnel. This is a bit exaggerated compared to how it actually was, but like, no, this is just artistic recreation. And of course, like, it a lot bigger now. Also, I remember like this was always a bit of a liminal space for me as a kid where like you'd look across and the mirror actually had a little bit of a reflection. So like you'd look. Yeah. Like it's actually interesting like how like I've shown a few people this place and they're almost always like, wow, this place actually makes me feel nostalgic. This looks like an actual house that I would have maybe visited a friend or been lived in as a kid. And it's like, because but this house is actually based off a house I lived in as a kid. So that usually makes sense when people say that. But like, just like, I don't know, this feels like such a liminal space. It's especially just this area here where like, this is something that would only happen like during the night where like the lights are on and like you're just walking up the stairs, you look there and it's like, oh, I can see my reflection in the mirror. Also, there's one thing that I always wanted to do as a kid that I can now do. Oh crap, is the camera moving? No, it's okay. So should be able to do that. Yeah. This is another thing I've always wanted to do where it's like I remember I always wanted to be like jump over and get to like the other side and just stand here. In the virtual space I can, but like I never really got to try this as a kid. Oh shit, there is a wall. A real world wall here. Wait, oh, but yeah, it's been wild. Uh, let's bring the camera over here. This is such an interesting view. It's like the stair. Actually, this is kind of backrooms feeling. Now it's getting kind of backroomsy. I think the reason why backrooms get actually no backrooms kind of gets its interest just solely based on the fact that like it's got like that like 2000 style lighting. Light bulbs used to be a lot more yellow, and just something about the 2000s just has a subliminal, ethereal feel to it. And then you get the backrooms, which is just like a fever dream of that. Let's see if I can break my legs. What happens if I jump? Can I? Oh no, I might not be able to actually physically walk off. Uh, uh, come on. Oh, I'm backed into a table. Uh, okay. Camera's a bit far away now. Oh shit, shit, shit. I got too much shit on the floor. Um, or too much stuff on the floor. I should watch my mouth. Oh, I might can. I swear. But yeah. Oh shit, I haven't turned off the kitchen. So here's another thing that was always kind of cool. So if um, I want to flip the camera. Okay, I forgot how to flip the camera. Uh, so if I do that, maybe. Also unmirror. Yeah, so yes, I got I think I've got like a couple good assets here, but yeah, it's interest. Like it was always kind of cool where you had like this kind of like open area here. So, you could like see people cooking or whatever. And if I where's a fly camera? I want to make this camera fly. Yeah, so it's like you'd like see someone like over here cooking, whatever, and then you know walk over to the sink here, wash some dishes, and I guess let's switch the camera view here. So if we like go, oh, I feel a little large in this world. Unfortunately, when I was making this world, the scaling was kind of based on my avatar being a different height. So let me. Oh shit! One of my controllers has drift, and one of it sticks, and I gotta fix that at some point. But if I like, yeah, so it's like you go, yeah, so like washing the dishes, and then at some point I really want to finish my VR treadmill. That would be the funny thing to do. Just do a bunch of dishes in VR. What's my face doing? Ah, it's like doing facial. Oh, right. I gotta fix that somehow. I got like the lights in my room. There's like causing problems. I think what I might have. Oh, grabbing the camera there. I think what I might have to do is like cover them with paper or something. Just something that like still lets the light through, but doesn't have like the face tracking cameras staring directly at a light. Because once those like show up in the camera feed, the face just stops behaving properly. Actually, I'm gonna try something real quick. If I, oh wait, let's see. Yeah, there's just actually there's another explanation possible. Uh, are the LEDs on this even still working? Yeah, I gotta turn off the lights and see if that's the case. No. Okay. So I turned the lights off in my room, and surprisingly, I have not lost VR headset tracking yet, which I'm kind of surprised by. Okay. Yeah, it's fun. I like it. Surprisingly, I've only been playing VR chat since like February of last year. Really? I wouldn't have guessed that at all, actually. All right, so yeah, the good news is that like nowadays VR chat has age gating, so I will only join age gated instances. Now, well, the catch is to enter an age gated instance, you have to have shown or uploaded a photo of your ID, and then VRChat verifies your identification, and then you're then verified as an adult, and then you can join all the 18 plus instances, which I ended up doing because I'm like, well, I can sue VRChat if they like don't delete my data like they said they would after they verified the age. Because like beforehand, you'd have to like join these Discord servers, and then you're sending your ID to like strangers, and they were verifying your ID that way. And then, yeah, I'm glad there's like an in-game just age verification system. Yeah, reality is like at some point you have to show your ID to people, but you know, it's better to show it once to a corporation that's liable than it is to like share it with strangers on a Discord. Yeah. And there's another world we gotta check out. This is another childhood location. Alright, so this is like a small location out in Ontario. So there's like washing machines here. This is the bedroom here. And then also you got like right over here we got a kitchen. And then this wasn't in the place, but like got this big ass ad for trackers that I build and assemble and ship out to people. And then okay, we got the kitchen here. So yeah, we got all these markers. Let's grab this one. Oh wait. Uh got washroom here. I got oven and the fridge. Uh and then go to the living room here. Oh shit. Got got I gotta put I still gotta put fish in this tank. I haven't gotten around to it yet. But you got these two other bedrooms. So there's these family friends we visited in Ontario, and they had a son who lived in this room, a daughter who lived in the other room, and yeah, me and my siblings when we were here, we were all basically the same age as the family friends' kids, so you know we would just play with the kids because we were kids, and yeah, it was always fun. When we came to visit here, we would also go out camping at times too. It was fun. We would like once a year we would go out during the summer. We'd either be visiting here or we'd be going to a campground. Eventually, you know, people started getting busy. Uh, the family friends who lived out here, they lived out in like the bush, like out where they had like this big field, and like I think, and then they started getting like these cows and like chickens and like just raising animals on their land. Eventually, they built a new house, and this place that I'm in right now, it doesn't exist anymore. It's been torn down. But this is what the place looked like when it was still around. And then, yeah, this is like the other bedroom. And then if we go to this room, got that in a bunk bed. Oh my god, I actually forgot something. I need to add a CRT. Cause like the son, he had he had a TV in his room with the Xbox, and I remember like he would play games like Sonic Heroes, Shadow the Hedgehog. And I remember one of the last things we did in this place or in this house is like I remember it was like on this TV we were like playing Rock Band on the Wii. So many memories. Lol. But yeah, there was like so much stuff. Oh, that's a funny look. Be like, what you doing? God, I'm so annoyed that there's like a lazy eye in the Sabbath. Okay, I'm gonna try doing the eye calibration. And let's see if this works out. So, okay, start. Oh. Okay, I gotta double check something with my face tracking. Pretending to be one, it's wild. I have a problem. I've taken basically every controller that I own and turned them into slime compatible body trackers. And I think I've basically captured everything I possibly can. I've built software that's compatible with the 3DS, PS5 controllers, Wii remotes, nunchucks, and a lot of other controllers. And the scary thing is that it most definitely works in VR chat. Now, it's not perfect, but this is probably the best that controller-based tracking is ever going to be or look. Barring some really big software prediction progress. But, you know what? I still think it's insane how far this project has come. And I think the only logical next step is to move on to making real tracking hardware. So, I'll keep you guys posted on that. What made me create these ungodly contraptions? Well, I've been playing a lot of VR chat, and I want full body tracking. Vive trackers are kind of expensive, so I learned about Slime VR. They're open source and cheaper. Let's see, how much are they in Canadian dollars? Okay, Slime VR are $303 Canadian. I don't have that much money. So I learned that someone made software that lets you use Joy-Cons as Slime VR trackers. I don't have that, so I wrote code that let me use PS5 controllers as Slime VR trackers. So this took about a week. And let's run it. Okay, the first PS5 controller has been detected. And now the second one has. Alright, so the Slime VR software seems to be picking up the controllers. Now, when we rotate the controller, the Slime VR software also seems to be picking up the correct rotations. I am sending the rotation data, well actually I have to convert the accelerometer data and the gyroscope data that the PS4 or PS5 controller has and send it to Slime VR. Okay, we're also going to install a program called OOTrack. OOTrack lets you use your cell phone as a Slime VR tracker. Here's a diagram of my proposed body placement. Alright. So, we kind of got a problem. Only one of the lights or the LEDs on this is actually doing its job. Yeah, it's like, I was wondering why my face tracking was like going off in one direction most of the time. And it's because both of my sides of my face were not being evenly lit. So what I have to do now is I gotta pull out the soldering iron and fix this. I gotta plug this back in real quick, just so I can see which LED is being problematic. don't know if that's going to show through, but it's like, this LED here is fine. This one's not lighting up. Yeah, this one is not lighting up, and this one is. So I gotta take this one out, replace it. I don't know why it stopped working. It's not like I don't see obvious connection break here. Like if I look, the solder joints are all connected. So this bulb might have just gone bad. So I've got some other bulbs here. As soon as I find them, shit. Oh. Right, I gotta find where the bulbs even are. Where our bulb? All right, here's one. Okay, so I gotta find the pliers next. So basically what I gotta do is just double check that. Let's double check one moment here. Just to double check that, like, yeah, it's definitely attached, so this bulb just went bad, I think. At least I hope. So gotta like try and soften this up. And then I gotta like quickly start yanking it out.
Latchy ___ said, I'm gonna go ahead and dip.
Alrighty.
Latchy ___ said, you take care now and I hope you make lots of more progress. Latchy ___ said, I'll pop in eventually.
Alrighty. See you later. Alright, so soften that up a bit. And now I'm gonna try and pull this out really fast. Okay, cool. Got that out. And I have lost the LED that... Okay, there it is, actually. I found it. Alright. So, I've got a respirator on now. So it's going to be harder to listen to me talk. But we're going to solder in the new LED. And hopefully that face tracking's a lot more balanced again. Oh, wait. What's underneath this? Oh! Oh, it's still hot. I need to cut that off and see what's underneath that tape. Probably doesn't matter that much in the grand scheme of things, though. Okay. Okay. I think I see why it's not working. This is going to be a bit messy.
Oh shit. Are other sides connected? Okay. Okay. Still not working, so we're just going to desolder this. And I gotta find the LED. Oh, I lost the other LED already. Okay. Alright.
Alright, so we're back in VR. Okay, so flip back here. Okay, I gotta fix all my tracking. One moment. Where's right, frick. Uh, mm, okay, so like all my tracking got disconnected, so I set all that stuff back up again. Just weird, because I only unplugged the dongle for my tow tracking. So I don't know why it all got disconnected, but I guess I'll sort that out. Alright, so uh oh, where's my body? Oh boy. Okay. Well, that's just weird. I think I broke VR chat. Alright, I'm back. Okay, so we're gonna try resetting some mouse settings. Um, okay, so now that we got both lights working, now we got this side of the face overcorrecting. So let's just double check I don't have any sliders still tweaking anything. Okay. I can't seem to scrunch my face the other direction anymore, even though we've got both cameras, or both LEDs on this face tracker are fixed now. Mm, mm. That is so strange. Mm. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. So we're gonna have to like check out some other things. Oh, my eyes aren't blinking. That's a problem. Okay. Okay, that's much better. All right, so I'm gonna show off the eye calibration. We're gonna redo it because like it's not working how it should. So okay, it's not working. I had to restart Babel or Babylonia. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, Babylonia is back. Eye calibration. And we'll position the camera right there, roughly. So in 10 seconds, the calibration is going to start. You guys will kind of see what I have to do with my eyes, or my head, anyway. Oh god. I had to cough, so I gotta redo that calibration. Where's my water? Alright, we're gonna have to try that again. So, okay, where's Babylonia? Okay, so eye calibration. Hello. I'm just doing some eye calibration at the moment. Gonna rotate my head, look side to side. My eyes are doing a weird thing where, like, uh, well, earlier I had to resolder one of the LEDs for my mouth tracking. I was wondering why my face was not behaving identically on both sides of my face. And it turns out it was because when my LEDs burnt out. And now I'm recalibrating the eyes. Alright, so now it's telling me in 9 seconds I gotta close my eyes for 20 seconds. Alright, and now it is doing a bunch of like, they're using like a neural net to like do the face stuff with this application. So now it's gonna like train a model on my eyeballs. But yeah, like I'm looking straight ahead at the moment, and like you can see my left eye is like kind of going lazy compared to the other one. So I'm hoping this doing this calibration again kind of fixes that. Yeah, we got like I can puff out my cheeks. We got tongue tracking. definitely very. Oh wait. Okay, so like one side of my face is actually. Okay, one of my side of my face is kind of doing like a smirk motion, even though I'm not actually doing that. Yeah, VR chat is one of those if you have like a trusted friend group to play with, like I usually don't go into public lobbies. I'll usually just hop on with like people I already know. That usually avoids most of the weird people. And then if you're an adult, only going to like the adult locations cuts out a lot of the weirdness. Because I find a lot of like the weird stuff of VR chat happens out in like the group publics where it's like you have people who are like 13 teenagers and adults all just in one space, and so that's where all the weird people end up being. But yeah, I think. Oh wait, is this actually gonna be done in 50? No, there's no way this is gonna be done in the next 50 seconds. I got like a new graphics card, and like I'm still wondering if it was even worth the purchase, just because it's like I was getting like 15 to 20 frames per second in VR chat on my 3080, and I got the 5070 Ti. I still only get 50 to 20 frames per second in VR chat, and it's likely because VR chat is a really CPU heavy game, and it's not the graphics card that was the issue. Okay, I gotta. Apparently, my tracking is broken. My legs are not moving. So let's try this. Let's see. Turn the camera the other way. Thank you. Now I'll have to show out the full house again. Okay, I gotta. Huh. What? Why is. What? Why is my tracking so weird? Wait. What? Okay. Full reset. Body calibration. See you later. Bye, boy. What is wrong with my tracking? Why is it behaving this way? Okay. Oh. One of my trackers fell off. Okay, where's my tracker? That is weird. Okay, so one of my trackers actually fell out of its holder. You guys probably didn't see it. But like my leg is doing scuffed things because it was not where it needs to be. Okay. Alright, that's much better. Alright, so it's still training on my eyeballs. So hopefully once that's done, my eyeballs will be fixed. Oh boy. I was gonna check how long I've been streaming for. I might. Oh well, yeah, I've been streaming for 3 hours. It looks like apparently. So I'm probably gonna end the stream after this finishes up. We'll do like one more showcase of all the tracking, and yeah. So while we wait on the face tracking, we'll show off the rest of the body again. So like, you know, we get the toe tracking, leg and toe tracking. Whoa, whoa. Okay, I lost my balance there. Yeah. So, okay. So I think the eye tracking has finished. Okay, so if we go closer, let's see. I don't think it worked. Alright, wait. Anchor default. Maybe it did. I think, yeah. I think it worked this time. Alright, I gotta tweak my tongue again. Alright, so I think I got the tongue a little less sensitive. Um, hmm. Alright, so smiling is not working. Okay, that's better. That seems to be better. However, I'm not. Okay, now one side's kind of bending more to the side than the other. I think this is good enough, I think, for now anyway. Yeah. I'll probably tweak with this, or tweak around with this, or tweak this later, tweak this more later. So yeah, thanks to everyone who watched. We got to talk about some stuff. You get to watch me fix my face tracker, or fix one of the LEDs on my face tracker, or my mouth tracker anyway. Yeah, we had some fun. I might. I want to do more streaming. I want to try and stream a lot more. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.